With Russia about to implement the digital ruble through its CBDC system, news coming just out is that Moscow is now ready to merge it with the tax code system. And so in this video we look at what this means for the average Russian citizen and how this might affect other countries looking to interact with Russia. Today's episode is sponsored by Cake Wallet, where you can send, receive and even exchange your crypto right from within the wallet. Cake Wallet is open source and non-custodial, so you control your own private keys, available today on iOS, macOS, Android and Linux. Good evening everybody, and a really warm welcome back to Enter Crypto with me, Chris Kenyon, and on this channel I bring you the news every single day and keep you fully informed and fully up to date. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then like, subscribe and click on that notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any future updates, as everything I put out is time sensitive. Now in this video we're going to be talking about Russia, their digital ruble or CBDC, and also their tax code and how they're looking to integrate the ruble, this digital ruble, with the tax code. So as always guys, we're just going to quickly run through the article, we'll read it out and then we'll comment after. So Russia is set to integrate its CBDC, the digital ruble, into its tax system, with legislation set to roll out before the year's end. Per Prime, the State Duma's Committee on Budgets and Taxes has approved a private member's bill that seeks to amend the tax code. The amendment will allow tax bodies to integrate the digital ruble into Russia's system of tax regulation and control, lawmakers have said, and the bill will introduce concepts such as digital ruble wallets into the tax code. It will also dictate that operations related to the opening and maintenance of digital ruble wallets are exempt from VAT. The draft law will also require parties to keep records of transactions and income in digital yuan wallets, as well as CBDC-related expenses. The judiciary, meanwhile, will be allowed to issue foreclose orders on digital ruble wallets in bankruptcies and similar cases. The committee has approved the bill, which was brought forward by the lawmakers Anatoly Aksakov and Olga Anufrieva and the Senator Nikolai Zhuravlev. Aksakov is the chief architect of Russia's crypto legislation and the head of the Duma's Financial Markets Committee. He's previously spoken of the CBDC's cross-border potential. Anufrieva, meanwhile, is a former Deputy Minister of Taxes and Duties, and Zhuravlev is the former CEO of the Russian megabank Sovcombank. The bill will be submitted before the Duma on September the 20th for its first reading, and if approved, it will then be resubmitted for a second reading. If it then receives presidential approval, the bill could in theory promulgate on January the 1st, 2024, if not sooner. And earlier this week, the central bank claimed that its digital ruble project was entirely separate from efforts to launch a biometrics-powered identification platform. The CBDC pilot got underway on mid-August in 11 cities nationwide. So we've been hearing about this CBDC for a long time. I've covered it extensively on this channel actually, the digital ruble. And although a lot of countries now are exploring the digital ruble, it does seem that Russia's in kind of a rush to get this out. You know, there seems to be a lot of laws coming out, a lot of tax integration policies like this one that's coming out and being put forward for validation from the Russian Duma. And I think despite what the Russians are saying, I think they are feeling the sanctions. You know, it's impossible to be sanctioned so heavily by the rest of the world. Whether you agree with it, disagree with it, I'm not here to discuss that. But, you know, to have all these sanctions from all these countries and it have no effect is just, not possible. And I think because they're feeling that, they're trying to be a little bit active about trying to find a solution. And one of those solutions, or something that will help, it might not solve the problem, is a CBDC for Russia, and it gives them more control over spending habits, saving habits. This is of their citizens and the businesses that operate within Russia. It makes them very easy to integrate that. Well, they'll make sure that the software is easy to integrate with other countries that are friendly, like China and India and South Africa. So you'll be able to easily swap, or businesses and banks, private banks will easily be able to swap and trade in using the digital ruble software to, say, swap it with the South African rand if they wanted to, and vice versa. And Russia will be hoping that making this easy for people to transact with the friendly countries anyway, obviously not, we're not going to be doing, there's not going to be anybody in the UK and Europe and America using these digital ruble wallets, obviously. In fact, nobody will be allowed to use them, actually. They'll be forbidden, I would have thought, as part of the sanctions package that's being put on Russia. So as even a lot of countries are actually piloting the CBDC, we do seem to be seeing a bit of a rush, which to me, that tells me that Russia's, feeling the hit, feeling the sanctions, even though they will never ever tell you, and they'll never come out and say that, the sanctions are affecting them. They don't want to, that would be a sign, for them anyway, that would be a sign of weakness. And they want the West to think that the sanctions are having no effect whatsoever, obviously. But this will be interesting to look at going forward. And I think by sort of mid-2024, I think we'll start seeing not just these 11 cities in Russia using the CBDC. I think we'll see it actually, nationwide. I think they'll be nationally using it. Maybe not internationally for China, I think, but maybe they'll be piloting it by then. So it is interesting because it's all, every country's going by CBDC, and even countries that are not friendly to Russia will still be looking at how this CBDC is being rolled out in Russia, because they themselves will be, countries like Israel, for example, want to put out their own CBDC, and they're working with Denmark to see how international swaps would work with the CBDC. And so a lot of countries will still be watching Russia because they are kind of rushing this. And so that's the article I've got for you today, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. It really does help me when you like. It helps massively when you subscribe. And click on that notifications bell as well. This is, of course, if you feel you've got some value from this video. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night.